Welcome to your Daily 5 for Wednesday, July 12th, 2023. As I expected, this is actually a related to yesterday 5, so I don't think there'll be another one on this, but this was definitely a topic that needed more than one 5 for me to get through all my thoughts on it. So I talked about the fact that I think that what's been going on with Twitter and other services. Yesterday when I talked about that, I was saying that's a demonstration that the craving for social media is not over as it had been suggested by some people. Now, the interesting part is specifically with this 5 around threads. This one I find fascinating because I've heard two sets of narratives that I find really interesting in terms of the massive uptick, the surge in signups for threads. Although I do find that 100 million number, I don't attribute as much weight to that as maybe other people do, because I think some of that is simply people who are still active on Facebook and Instagram. They're just adopting it as a third arm of what they're already using. So I don't know if that number is necessarily, at least to me, as impressive as some people have made it out to be. That shows that Threads is definitely the one that people are going to. I don't know that that's really true. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not using it myself. Because, and this is what's been funny about some of these people who have picked this thing up, is I don't know if people are aware, maybe they're not aware, that Threads is a subsidiary of Meta and Instagram. It's basically Facebook. And there have been a number of people who've pointed out correctly that, well, if you had a problem with Facebook, which a lot of these people who have moved to it have said they did, why are you moving to Threads? Because that's just another version of Facebook. And the problems that you have with Facebook are going to, if they're not already present in terms of how the company operates itself, some of the ways that they monetize are certainly going to be coming to Threads. They've said that already. They have basically said, in different terms, but this is free for now. We'll figure out how to monetize it later. The classic Silicon Valley model or big tech model. Free at first, we'll figure out how to squeeze the money out of you later. And that also parallels to some other people that have joined it that I have heard in recent weeks actively complaining about the fact that some of the reason that things like Reddit and Twitter have suddenly degraded and are in trouble and are being kind of monetized to death and back is because people got used to the idea that everything on the internet was free when it never was. That all these services and the way that we consume content on the internet was presented as a free thing, this Wild West free approach. When, of course, there never really was a free version of it. A lot of it was subsidized. A lot of companies have operated and continue to operate at a loss, which I don't understand that at all. This idea that companies, in the short term, that's one thing. If you're in trouble and you need a loan or whatever, people do that too. But I don't know anybody who operates for years and years and years with no ability to make money. No person does that, or at least they don't do it unless they're under the shield of a company somehow. But I don't think you can just choose not to pay your bills, as even Elon Musk is finding out, and not have that somehow come back to bite you. But again, it goes back to this idea that a lot of people said that the turbulence and some of what's going on with Reddit and other services is actually good because it's reminding people, or perhaps for the first time showing them, that there is nothing free on the internet, that this thing that we have all gotten used to being low cost or free was in fact never a no-cost idea. It was simply presented that way to us, and the bill is coming due all these years later. These people are going to something like Threads that is itself the exact problematic model that they're complaining about. It's free now, and the bill's going to come later. If this is in fact something that these people think is bad and that we have gotten too used to, why are they supporting that very model? Again, it's almost like, do you not know what you're dealing with? Are you in such a rush to adopt the hot new thing, and maybe this is what it is, that you are just ignoring the things you were complaining about 10 minutes ago? I guess it could just be that. That is something that is very prevalent in society, and any discussions you see online at this point, people complain about something 1 minute and then seem to ignore it because something else comes along and it's got their attention. But honestly, zero interest in Threads. If that becomes the dominant thing, then I will be off the dominant thing, which is fine by me. But again, my problems with Facebook and the way that things are presented and non-monetized and then later monetized, Threads is exactly that. If you've had a problem with that before, don't jump on that now, because that's exactly what it is. And again, if that was something you didn't like before, this is just a new package for the same old problem. So don't fall for it. Later.